Good morning. So today, happy Vlogmas day 2. Today we got to take the dogs to doggy day camp because I'm doing some fun stuff, some Christmas stuff tonight. So yeah, let's get that ready. Alright, so like I said, I'm gonna go do fun Christmas stuff tonight. Have to get the dogs in, probably only because it's gonna be so long. They're gonna go to doggy day camp. But yeah, here we go. Dogs have been dropped off. I'm getting gas, just basically to make sure we have gas in the cars. It's a really mundane thing, and then I get to go hop to work. Downside is I don't really have time to stop and get coffee though, and also there's nowhere between the gas station and home to get coffee really. So I'll have to make a K-cup at home, and I really don't necessarily like making K-cups as much. Number one, they're not as good. And number two, like all the waste that comes with it. So in this video, I'm gonna go over a few accessories on my desk that I really like, but first we gotta get there. So let's go. I only have one setup. This is currently the setup for play or my own personal stuff. So now it's time to swap computers. For work, I run a M2 MacBook Air. It's been great. It works well. If you can tell, I only have one monitor set up, so that's fine. Then for play and like everything else that I do, I work off a M1 Max MacBook Pro. And everything goes through a Thunderbolt port so that it just makes it nice and easy to do one cable swap, and it's all working. So here we are. I have to work a bit before I can keep talking about like what all is on my desk. Today we're actually doing a retro, which is kind of nifty. And we're actually using a tool called Team Retro, so it allows us to kind of split up the retro talking points into a couple different groups. Highly recommend. I used it at my last company, so I suggested it here once we started doing retros. It's honestly just like a really nifty tool that I think helps keep people anonymous and also helps get people's feedback, because since it is anonymous, it allows us to really like think about what's being said, and allows for the person giving the feedback to not have to own it, because sometimes it's a little scary owning a piece of feedback, especially if you're new to a team, which most of us are new to working together, so I think it's a really good thing to be using. Alright, hey, so, I literally just said like a moment ago that we were going to talk about like my favorite things on my desk, but it is now probably like 12 hours from that, so, like, things change on the fly, and we're going to talk about actually what are my favorite accessories to take with me whenever I have to go work from somewhere else. And that is because I ended up going to Wassail Fest, so enjoy a little bit of montage here. And Wassail is a hot apple cider drink from what I understand. There's a German town here in Texas that puts on a festival, I guess, every year around on December 1st or the first Thursday of December, maybe. I don't really know. My wife wanted to go do it, so I said, yes, let's go do it. And here we are. So we did it, and it was fun. It was a good time. Definitely enjoyed some apple cider, enjoyed some friends, all that good stuff. But that meant that I had to go work from a friend's place, and I wanted to talk about the tech I took just to make sure I was covered for the afternoon. So after I was done with my retro and any meetings, took lunch, and on the way to lunch, went down to the friend's house, and here's what I took. So first off, a camera strap, so I could carry my camera on it. My camera is the A7 IV with a Tamron 17 to 28 millimeter lens, I believe. I like the variability of it. It's really nice. This is my first zoom style lens. It's been nice. So yeah, Peak Design strap. It's a little thick. I definitely wouldn't suggest whichever one I got, which I think is the Peak Design leash. Maybe it's the one up from that. I'll put a link in the description though. But like, of the one I would recommend for a style like this. It's just really thick. So just to compare, like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Compare AirPods Gen 3 with the strap. It's really thick and not totally necessary. But highly recommend like a camera strap, just easy to carry. I also took the Switch Pod with me. I didn't end up using it, but I like using the Switch Pod instead of the Gorilla Pod for a few reasons. Number one, the legs don't bend, which is nice, and they extend out, and it's really sturdy. I usually use it on any vlogs I need to really I need like something there. In my interviewing vlog, actually, you see it being used there as like, it's what held up my camera while I was doing interviews and stuff like that. It's pretty nice. I would highly recommend doing this over a Gorilla Pod unless you really need the bendy legs to like hold places, but ultimately like, it's just sturdy and you can get like a little ball head on it that allows you to move. Now, because I am using Peak Design things like the Peak Design tripod, which is what the camera is currently on, I have the Peak Design capture plates, which are Arca Swiss compatible. So instead of screwing it directly to the camera, I have a little, I don't know, it's called Sunway Photo Mac 14, but it is a quick release plate here. And you can basically just slide the camera on it and slide it off of it as long as it has the base correct. And if you can tell, I don't know if you can quite tell, like it'll change size here so that you can get it nice and tight. First off, what is the bag? Whenever I'm just on the go and it's gonna be a quick trip, I don't like taking a backpack, so I bring the Wandered Roam Sling bag. This is the 9-liter version, I believe. Either 9 or 6 liter. Again, affiliate link in the description below. But it's great because one, there's lots of pockets. So there's a front pocket here. There's also this thing that is a pocket. And that pocket can either be a water bottle or a tripod holder, which is super neat. So inside the front pocket of the bag, I keep my AirPods because AirPods are always necessary. You never know if you're gonna need a meeting, or you never know if you need to like block out sound or whatnot. But I always travel with AirPods Gen 3 or what these are. I love them. I got them for a work thing last year actually, where I had to go in the office, and they were just really nice. I used to have AirPod Gen whatever, first gen, and then AirPod Pros. The AirPod Pros went through a washer, but I don't really need a new set of AirPods, so I was just using my first gen regular AirPods for a while. I didn't want to upgrade to the Pros because I had also gotten AirPod Maxes in between then and the work thing. So now I just have these, and they work just as fine, like from what I use them for. Because if I want to block anything out, I love using the AirPod Maxes. They don't travel well, so they don't usually go with me to go work. Now, the Roam is a pretty nifty bag. Before I get into exactly what's in here, it is a sling bag, which is super awesome because that means it's just a crossbody bag. But what's also neat, you might notice there's a little peak here. You know, it's like pushing all the way through on the back, and that is the computer case. So on the bag, you can open it there, and whoop, 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 here is my laptop. Obviously, you need a laptop if you're gonna work remotely from anywhere or work away from the home. If your job requires a laptop, I guess, which as an iOS developer, yes. So I got the Wandered laptop sleeve. It is the 14-inch sleeve for it. Slide it through, open it, and there's a MacBook, which we'll have a separate video on in a little bit later this month. But super great, super nice and easy to use. I guess in theory you could use any kind of sleeve inside this bag, but I just went with the built-in one because I didn't have one. So, you know, and also that guarantees like the size and stuff is gonna fit. This also works for the 16-inch laptop. Now that's all that's inside that little magical back part of this. Now we're gonna open the bag And when you open the bag, there's a couple different compartments. So the first compartment, the big one, that's obviously where the camera goes. This is where the mic goes that I'm using, which is a Rode Micro. Then inside there, I like to put in my computer accessories. So we have a MagSafe charger for the laptop and the actual like power block that came with it. So why did you lick me, Sydney? So the power block that came with it is the 2-port USB-C power block. Nice and nifty to have. I just carry it with it because it's the one that was provided with the laptop. You might notice I didn't pull out a USB-C, I didn't pull out a lightning cable. That is because before I left, I made sure that my phone could connect via network. So if I needed to run anything like from Xcode, it could just like connect to Xcode pretty easily wirelessly. I only did that also because I was working from a friend's house and I wasn't working from like a coffee shop. If I was working from a coffee shop, I'd probably take my USB-C lightning cable. Then what else is in here is we have another lens just in case I wanted a little bit more reach. Believe it or not, it didn't actually get used. Now, inside here, inside the lid that you unzip, there's another piece in here. This isn't too necessary, but I like to carry around a Sharpie. You never know when you're gonna need a Sharpie to write something permanently somewhere. And then in the back, I also carry, oh, I lied. In the back of my bag, I apparently do also have a lightning cable. I just forgot I had it, so that's fun. My bad for lying, I'm sorry. This is left over from a trip that I took for Thanksgiving, but a SSD drive to edit on, which I don't use if I'm doing work, so that shouldn't have gone with me today. That's for the other laptop. And then finally, something else I carry in here is my AirTag. Keep an AirTag in the bag. It's nice to just toss in and then it's there and don't have to worry about losing it or whatnot. So that's what I keep in my bag is like my on-the-go accessories. Again, I'll put descriptions in the, I'll put links in the descriptions below. It's a very light, minimal needed travel bag. Also, that's pretty much what I carry if I'm going on a trip somewhere. Also, like to Thanksgiving, where I'm not expected to do a lot of work, but you know, I want to have us like be able to edit photos or stuff like that. Like that is usually what's in my kit, to be honest. So I guess that's kind of like a little mini EDC, but I don't really leave the house. But yeah, so that's what that bag's for, and that's what's in the bag. I usually also carry a extra battery for my camera, but that is somewhere else and not on the charger. It's probably in my jacket pocket. Since I ended up not carrying the bag with me while I was out and about, I kind of just like had it there and then left it in the car. So thanks y'all for tuning in to Vlogmas day number 2 on a 2-day streak there. And with that being said, I will see y'all tomorrow when we're gonna talk about something else fun and exciting relating to software development, engineering, indie development, stuff like that. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye y'all.